Think and Grow Rich. Friends, today we're going to talk about a book that has changed millions of lives. This book teaches us how we can achieve anything we desire in life. This is not just a book about earning money, but a complete science of success. So, let's begin. Friends, the biggest lesson of this book is that our thoughts have tremendous power. Whatever we think persistently and with faith, that becomes our reality. This is not magic. This is a scientific principle. Napoleon Hill studied 500 successful people for 20 years and discovered that all of them used certain principles. Today we'll understand all those principles. The first and most important principle is desire. Friends, desire is not just wishing for something. It's a burning, intense desire that doesn't let you sleep at night. When you want something so intensely that you're ready to stake everything for it, only then does that desire have the power to become reality. Hill tells the story of Edwin Barnes. Barnes wanted to become Thomas Edison's business partner. He had no money, no connections, nothing, but he had an intense desire. He went to Edison's laboratory and said he wanted to work with him. Edison gave him a small job at low wages, but Barnes kept his desire alive. He kept visualizing himself as Edison's partner. After several years, when Edison made a new machine, he needed someone to sell it. Barnes' desire was so strong that Edison could see it in his eyes. Edison made him his partner for that machine. Barnes earned millions from that partnership. Friends, this story teaches us that desire must be definite and intense. Hill gives us a 6-step formula for this. First, decide exactly what you want. Be specific. How much money, what achievement, everything should be clear. Second, decide what you're willing to give in return for what you want. Nothing comes free in this world. Third, set a definite date by when you want to achieve it. Fourth, create a definite plan and start immediately, whether you feel ready or not. Fifth, write all these 4 points clearly on paper. Sixth, read this written statement aloud twice daily, once in the morning and once at night. While reading, see, feel, and believe that you already have that thing. This 6-step formula is very powerful, friends. When you do this every day, your subconscious mind starts working on it. Your mind starts finding ways to achieve it. Opportunities that you never saw before start becoming visible to you. Now let's talk about the second principle, faith. Friends, faith means believing so strongly that doubt doesn't even arise in your mind. You know that what you want will definitely happen. This faith is essential because when you have faith, your brain starts working in that direction. Your actions automatically align with your goal. Hill tells the story of Henry Ford. When Ford decided to make the V8 engine, all his engineers said it was impossible. They said you can't put 8 cylinders in one block. But Ford had faith. He said, produce it anyway. The engineers tried for a year but failed. Ford said, keep trying. After another year, they succeeded. That V8 engine made Ford Motor Company the #1 automobile company in the world. Friends, this faith is developed through autosuggestion. When you repeatedly tell yourself something, your subconscious mind starts accepting it as truth. Then it starts working to make it reality. Hill gives us a self-confidence formula. You should say to yourself every day, I know I have the ability to achieve my definite purpose. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent and continuous action towards its attainment. I realize that thoughts I hold in my mind will reproduce themselves in outward action. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts on what I want, not on what I don't want. I will spend 30 minutes daily thinking about the person I want to become. I know that any desire I hold persistently will eventually seek expression through practical means. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to developing self-confidence. When you repeat this formula daily, friends, your subconscious mind starts accepting that you can achieve your goal. Now let's understand the third principle, autosuggestion. Friends, autosuggestion is the medium through which you can influence your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind doesn't know what's true and what's false. Whatever you tell it repeatedly, it accepts as truth. Then it starts working to make it reality. The important thing in autosuggestion is that you must feel emotion while doing it. Just mechanically saying words has no effect. When you're visualizing your goal, you must feel the happiness, the excitement, the pride that you'll feel when you achieve it. The more emotion you put in, the more powerful the effect. Hill explains that your subconscious mind responds to emotionalized thoughts. When you read your written goals aloud, see yourself already in possession of what you desire. Feel the money in your hands if you want money. Feel the joy of success if you want achievement. This emotional engagement is crucial. The fourth principle is specialized knowledge. Friends, general knowledge has no use. You need specialized knowledge related to your goal. And you don't need to have all knowledge in your head. You just need to know where to find that knowledge when needed. Hill says that Henry Ford was called ignorant in court because he couldn't answer some general knowledge questions. But Ford replied, "I have a row of buttons on my desk. When I need to know something, I press a button and an expert comes who knows the answer. Why should I clutter my mind with general knowledge when I can get specialized knowledge in 5 minutes?" This principle teaches us that we should organize knowledge. Form a mastermind group, a group of people who have knowledge in different fields. When you need any knowledge, you can get it from your group members. This way, you don't need to learn everything yourself. Also, friends, learn continuously. Take courses, read books, attend seminars related to your field. The more specialized knowledge you have, the more valuable you become. The fifth principle is imagination. Friends, imagination is the workshop where all plans are created. There are 2 types of imagination: synthetic imagination and creative imagination. Synthetic imagination is when you take old ideas and combine them in new ways. Most people use this. For example, someone saw a phone and a camera and combined them to make a camera phone. Creative imagination is when completely new ideas come directly to your mind. This works through the 6th sense that we'll discuss later. Great inventions and discoveries happen through this. Hill tells the story of Dr. Frank Gonzalez. The doctor wanted to open a college but needed $1 million. He had no money, but he had imagination. He imagined himself giving a sermon that would be so powerful that someone would give him $1 million. He prepared the sermon for 2 weeks, announced it in newspapers, and delivered it in church. Philip Armour, a millionaire, was in the audience. He was so impressed that he gave Gonzalez the $1 million. Gonzalez opened Armour Institute of Technology, which became a famous college. Friends, this story shows the power of imagination. When you clearly imagine what you want and emotionalize it, the universe conspires to make it happen. Another example is the Coca-Cola formula. The pharmacist who created it used imagination to see how this formula could become a global product. He sold the formula for just a few $1,000s because he couldn't fully imagine its potential. But the buyer had imagination. He saw that this could be sold in every corner of the world. Today, Coca-Cola is worth billions of dollars. The 6th principle is organized planning. Friends, desire, faith, and imagination are all important, but without a definite plan, they're useless. You need organized planning. First, form a mastermind alliance. Select people who can help you with your plan. These people should have knowledge, experience, or resources that you don't have. Meet with them regularly, share your plans, and get their input. Second, decide what you'll give to these people in return for their help. Nobody works for free. It could be money or profit sharing or some other benefit. Third, meet with your mastermind group at least twice a week until your plan is complete. Fourth, maintain harmony within your group. If there's discord, the mastermind power won't work. Hill emphasizes that the mastermind is essential. When 2 or more minds work together in harmony toward a definite purpose, they create a third invisible mind that's more powerful than individual minds. Andrew Carnegie used this principle. He had 50 men in his mastermind group. These men helped him build a steel empire worth $500 million. Friends, you must also be a good leader to implement your plans. Hill lists 11 qualities of a good leader: unwavering courage, self-control, a strong sense of justice, definiteness of decision, definiteness of plans, the habit of doing more than paid for, a pleasing personality, sympathy and understanding, mastery of detail, willingness to assume full responsibility, and cooperation. If you develop these qualities, people will automatically want to follow you. And when people follow you, implementing your plans becomes easy. Also remember, friends, most plans fail the first time, but that doesn't mean you should give up. Hill studied the lives of more than 10,000 people who failed initially but later became successful. He found that they succeeded because they didn't give up after failure. They made new plans and tried again. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before inventing the electric bulb. When someone asked him, how did it feel to fail 10,000 times? Edison replied, I didn't fail. I discovered 10,000 ways that don't work. This is the attitude you need. The seventh principle is decision. Friends, successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly, if at all. Unsuccessful people make decisions slowly and change them frequently. Hill found that people who don't succeed have the habit of procrastination. They keep postponing decisions. They wait for the perfect time, perfect conditions, perfect information. But the perfect time never comes. You must decide now with whatever information you have. Also, don't take opinions from too many people. When you ask too many people for advice, you get confused. Most people will give you negative opinions anyway because they themselves are not successful. Make your decisions based on facts and your own judgment. Hill gives the example of the Declaration of Independence. 56 men signed it, knowing they could be hanged for treason. But they made the decision quickly because they had faith in their cause. That one decision created the United States of America. When you make definite decisions and act on them, friends, the universe starts supporting you. Opportunities come, resources appear, people help, everything starts falling into place. The eighth principle is persistence. Friends, this is the quality that separates successful people from unsuccessful ones. Everyone starts with enthusiasm, but when obstacles come, most people quit. Those who persist despite obstacles are the ones who succeed. Hill says persistence is to character what carbon is to steel. Without persistence, all other qualities are useless. You might have desire, faith, knowledge, plans, but if you don't persist, you won't succeed. There are many examples of persistence in the book. Fannie Hurst wrote stories for 4 years. Every story was rejected by publishers, but she persisted. Finally, one story was accepted. After that, she became one of the highest-paid writers in America. Kate Smith was told she was too fat to be a singer. She was rejected by everyone, but she persisted. She practiced every day. Finally, she got a chance on radio. Her voice became so famous that she earned more than any other singer of her time. Friends, persistence is developed through 4 things. First, a definite purpose backed by burning desire. If your desire is weak, you'll quit at the first obstacle. Second, a definite plan expressed in continuous action. You must keep acting even when you don't see immediate results. Third, a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences. Don't listen to people who say you can't do it. Fourth, a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage you. Your mastermind group should support you when you feel like quitting. If you develop these 4 things, friends, your persistence will become unshakable. You'll keep going until you succeed. The 9th principle is power of the mastermind. We touched on this earlier, but let's understand it deeply. Friends, Power is organized and intelligently directed knowledge. Individual effort is not enough for great success. You need the cooperation of other people. The mastermind creates power in two ways. First, economic power, when you have access to other people's knowledge, experience, and resources. Andrew Carnegie's mastermind group had specialists in different areas. Some knew about mining, some about manufacturing, some about finance, some about marketing. Carnegie didn't know everything himself, but through his mastermind group, he had access to all necessary knowledge. Second, psychic power. When two minds come together, a third invisible mind is created. This creates a synergy that's more powerful than individual minds. Hill calls this psychic power because it works on a spiritual plane. When your mastermind group is in perfect harmony, you can feel this power. Mahatma Gandhi used this principle to free India. Gandhi himself was a small, frail man with no wealth or political position, but he created a mastermind alliance with millions of Indians. Through the power of that collective mind, he defeated the British Empire without violence. Friends, you must carefully select members of your mastermind group. They should be positive, supportive, and aligned with your purpose. Even one negative person can break the harmony and destroy the mastermind power. The 10th principle is the mystery of sex transmutation. Friends, this is a sensitive topic, but very important. Sex transmutation means converting sexual energy into creative energy. Hill says the sexual urge is the most powerful human desire. When this energy is harnessed and directed toward other purposes, it becomes incredibly creative. Many great geniuses achieved their success because they learned to transmute sexual energy into creative energy. This doesn't mean suppressing or destroying sexual desire. It means controlling and channeling that powerful energy into productive work. When a man is motivated by love for a woman, he develops courage, imagination, persistence, and creative ability that he doesn't have otherwise. Hill studied 40 successful men and found that all of them achieved their greatest success after age 40. Why? Because before 40, most men waste their sexual energy. After 40, they learn to transmute it into creative achievement. Friends, this transmutation happens automatically when you're intensely focused on a definite purpose. When your mind is occupied with creative work, sexual energy naturally gets channeled into that work. The key is to keep your mind focused on your goal and engaged in productive activity. The 11th principle is the subconscious mind. Friends, your subconscious mind is like a garden. Whatever seeds you plant in it, those plants will grow. If you plant seeds of positive thoughts, you'll get positive results. If you plant seeds of negative thoughts, you'll get negative results. Your subconscious mind works 24 hours a day. Even when you're sleeping, it's working on whatever you've given it during the day. This is why it's crucial to feed your subconscious mind positive thoughts through autosuggestion before sleeping. Hill identifies 7 major positive emotions: desire, faith, love, sex, enthusiasm, romance, and hope. He also identifies 7 negative emotions: fear, jealousy, hatred, revenge, greed, superstition, and anger. Friends, you must voluntarily plant positive emotions in your subconscious mind. Negative emotions enter automatically if you're not careful. Your subconscious mind is constantly influenced by your thoughts. This is why you must guard your thoughts carefully. Use autosuggestion to feed your subconscious mind. Before sleeping, visualize your goals. See yourself already in possession of what you desire. Feel the emotions of success. Your subconscious mind will then work all night to find ways to achieve your goals. Also, friends, your subconscious mind can tap into infinite intelligence. When you have a problem you can't solve, give it to your subconscious mind before sleeping. Ask for the solution. Many times, you'll wake up with the answer. Great scientists and inventors have solved major problems this way. The 12th principle is the brain. Friends, Hill presents a fascinating concept. He says the human brain is both a broadcasting station and a receiving station for thought vibrations. Every thought you think is broadcast as a vibration. Other brains can receive these vibrations, especially if they're tuned to the same frequency. This explains telepathy and intuition. When you're thinking intensely about someone, they often contact you. When you're working on a problem, sometimes the solution comes from an unexpected source. This happens because your brain broadcasts your thoughts and other brains receive them. If they have information related to your thoughts, they're unconsciously prompted to share it with you. Hill mentions the research of Dr. J.B. Rhine at Duke University. Rhine scientifically proved the existence of telepathy. He showed that minds can communicate without physical contact. Friends, this principle explains why the mastermind works so powerfully. When multiple brains are focused on the same goal in harmony, they create a network of vibrations. This network can tap into infinite intelligence and receive ideas and solutions. To use this principle, you must keep your mind positive and receptive. Negative emotions like fear, hatred, and jealousy block your brain's receiving ability. Positive emotions like faith, love, and enthusiasm enhance it. Also, when you're working on a problem, visualize the solution. Broadcast that thought vibration into the universe. The universe will send you the answer through some channel, maybe a person, a book, or a sudden inspiration. The 13th and final principle is the sixth sense. Friends, this is the apex of all the principles. The sixth sense is that portion of the subconscious mind that's connected to infinite intelligence. Through the sixth sense, you receive warnings of impending danger, you get creative ideas, you sense opportunities. The sixth sense cannot be described adequately to someone who hasn't experienced it. You must practice the other 12 principles consistently. When you do, the sixth sense starts developing automatically. Hill used an interesting method to develop his sixth sense. Every night before sleeping, he held an imaginary council meeting with 9 great men: Emerson, Paine, Edison, Darwin, Lincoln, Burbank, Napoleon, Ford, and Carnegie. He visualized them sitting around a table. He asked them questions and listened to their advice in his imagination. Initially, this was just an exercise in character building, but after months of practice, these imaginary figures started taking on lives of their own. They would give Hill advice he hadn't consciously thought of. They would warn him about mistakes. They would inspire new ideas. Friends, this might sound strange, but Hill says it transformed his life. Through this exercise, he tapped into the wisdom of great minds. Whether these were actually the spirits of dead men or just his subconscious mind's way of accessing infinite intelligence, the results were real. You can use a similar method. Select people you admire. They could be living or dead, historical or contemporary. Every night, visualize meeting with them. Ask them questions. Listen to their advice. Over time, you'll find that brilliant ideas come to you through this practice. The sixth sense protects you from danger, too. You might get a strong feeling not to do something even though logically it seems fine. Listen to that feeling. Many times, people who ignore their sixth sense regret it later. Friends, to develop the sixth sense, you must master the other 12 principles first. You must eliminate fear completely. You must keep your mind positive. You must practice autosuggestion daily. When you do all this consistently, the sixth sense awakens naturally. Now, friends, let's talk about the biggest obstacles to success, the 6 basic fears. Hill says these 6 fears destroy more people's potential than anything else. If you can eliminate these fears, nothing can stop you from succeeding. The first fear is the fear of poverty. This is the most destructive fear. Symptoms include indifference, indecision, doubt, worry, overcaution, and procrastination. When you fear poverty, you can't think about opportunities. Your mind is occupied with what you don't want instead of what you do want. To eliminate this fear, Focus on what you want, not what you fear. Use autosuggestion to affirm abundance. Visualize prosperity. Remember, what you focus on expands. The second fear is the fear of criticism. This fear destroys initiative and imagination. Symptoms include lack of poise, personality problems, inferiority complex, extravagance, and lack of ambition. Most people don't follow their dreams because they fear what others will say. They worry about being laughed at, criticized, or judged. But here's the truth, friends. People who criticize you are usually unsuccessful themselves. Successful people are too busy with their own goals to criticize others. To eliminate this fear, develop self-confidence. Remember that your opinion of yourself is the only one that matters. Don't let other people's doubts become your reality. The third fear is the fear of ill health. Hill says this fear is often associated with doctors and pharmaceutical companies promoting disease. Symptoms include autosuggestion of disease, hypochondria, exercise avoidance, and excessive worry. Hill claims that 75% of illness is imaginary. People think they're sick, and their bodies manifest symptoms. The mind has tremendous power over the body. To eliminate this fear, think health, not disease. Don't talk about illness. Don't read medical advertisements that list symptoms. Keep your mind focused on health and vitality. The fourth fear is the fear of loss of love. This is often the most painful fear. Symptoms include jealousy, fault-finding, and gambling. When you fear losing love, you become possessive and insecure. This actually pushes people away. To eliminate this fear, understand that love cannot be forced or held by fear. If you lose someone's love, it means they weren't right for you. Have faith that the right person will love you freely. The fifth fear is the fear of old age. People fear old age because they associate it with poverty and loss of freedom. Symptoms include premature aging, apologetic manner, and killing imagination. But old age brings wisdom and understanding that youth doesn't have. Many successful people achieved their greatest work after 60. Edison, Ford, Carnegie, all were highly productive in their old age. To eliminate this fear, see old age as an opportunity for continued growth and contribution. Keep your mind active. Keep learning. Age is just a number if your mind stays young. The sixth fear is the fear of death. This is often connected with religious fanaticism. Symptoms include thinking about dying instead of living, lack of purpose, and worry about the afterlife. Hill says this fear is useless because death comes to everyone eventually. Worrying about it doesn't change anything. Instead, live fully. Pursue your purpose. Make your life meaningful. When death comes, you'll have no regrets. Friends, these 6 fears are just thoughts. They have no reality except what you give them. You can eliminate them by replacing them with their opposite positive emotions. Replace fear of poverty with desire for wealth. Replace fear of criticism with self-confidence. Replace fear of ill health with thoughts of health. Replace loss of love with love itself. Replace old age with gratitude for experience. Replace fear of death with purpose for living. Now let's discuss how to apply all these principles in your daily life. Friends, knowledge without application is useless. You must create a daily routine that implements these principles. Every morning, as soon as you wake up, read your written goals aloud. Visualize yourself already in possession of what you desire. Feel the emotions of success. Spend at least 15 minutes doing this. This programs your subconscious mind for the day. During the day, stay focused on your goals. When doubts or negative thoughts come, immediately replace them with positive affirmations. Use autosuggestion constantly. Tell yourself, I can do this. I will succeed. I am worthy of success. Connect with your mastermind group regularly. Share your progress. Get their input. Help them with their goals too. The mastermind works both ways. You give and receive. Keep learning specialized knowledge related to your goal. Spend at least 1 hour daily reading, taking courses, or practicing skills related to your field. When obstacles come, and they will come, practice persistence. Don't quit. Adjust your plan if needed, but don't change your goal. Remember, temporary defeat is not permanent failure. In the evening, before sleeping, review your day. What did you accomplish towards your goal? What can you improve tomorrow? Then read your goals again, visualize success, and give your subconscious mind instructions to work on solutions while you sleep. Friends, this routine seems simple, but it's extremely powerful. If you do this every single day for 6 months, your life will transform completely. New opportunities will appear, the right people will enter your life, resources will become available, success will be inevitable. Hill studied Andrew Carnegie's success deeply. Carnegie came to America as a poor immigrant. He couldn't even speak English properly, but he applied these principles systematically. He formed a mastermind group of 50 brilliant men. He had a burning desire to succeed. He persisted through numerous failures. Within 40 years, he became one of the richest men in the world, worth $500 million. Thomas Edison also applied these principles. He only had 3 months of formal education, but he had specialized knowledge in electricity. He used imagination to invent the electric bulb, phonograph, and hundreds of other devices. He persisted through 10,000 failures. He used autosuggestion to program his mind for success. Mahatma Gandhi used these principles too. He had a definite purpose to free India. He had burning desire and faith that moved millions. He formed the largest mastermind alliance in history, the entire Indian population. Through persistence and organized planning, he achieved what seemed impossible. Friends, these principles work for everyone, regardless of education, background, or circumstances. They worked for Carnegie, Edison, Gandhi, Ford, and hundreds of others Hill studied. They will work for you too if you apply them consistently. The key is to start now. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait until you have more knowledge or better circumstances. Start with what you have, where you are. Make a definite decision about what you want. Write it down. Create a plan. Take action today. Remember, friends, thoughts are things. When you hold a thought in your mind with emotion and faith, that thought becomes reality. This is not theory. This is scientific fact proven by thousands of successful people. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have. Most people never use even 10% of their mind's potential. They let their minds wander aimlessly, thinking random thoughts. But you can control your mind. You can direct it toward your goals. When you do this consciously and persistently, success becomes inevitable. Also remember that there is no such thing as something for nothing. You must give before you receive. If you want money, you must provide equivalent value in service or products. If you want love, you must give love. If you want respect, you must give respect. This is the law of compensation. You receive in proportion to what you give. Don't be discouraged by temporary defeats. Every successful person failed multiple times before succeeding. The difference is they didn't quit. They learned from failure and tried again with a better plan. Edison failed 10,000 times. Ford failed twice before succeeding. Lincoln lost 8 elections before becoming president. Failure is just feedback. It tells you what doesn't work so you can adjust your approach. Each failure brings you closer to success if you persist and learn from it. Friends, you have everything within you right now to achieve anything you desire. You have imagination to create plans. You have will to make decisions. You have persistence to continue despite obstacles. You have a mind that can tap into infinite intelligence. The only question is, will you use these powers? Most people go through life like leaves blown by the wind. They have no definite purpose, they make no definite plans, they take no definite action. Then they wonder why they don't succeed. But success doesn't happen by accident. Success is the result of definite purpose, definite plans, and definite action, all backed by burning desire and unwavering faith. Hill spent 20 years studying success. He interviewed 500 successful people. He analyzed thousands of failures. From all this research, he extracted these 13 principles. These principles are not theory, They are proven facts. They worked 100 years ago, they work today, they will work 100 years from now. Human nature doesn't change. Universal laws don't change. So, friends, the question is not whether these principles work. They definitely work. The question is whether you will apply them. Will you have the discipline to practice autosuggestion daily? Will you have the courage to persist when others quit? Will you have the faith to keep going when you can't see immediate results? I'll tell you a secret, friends. The biggest difference between successful and unsuccessful people is not talent, intelligence, or circumstances. It's simply this. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. They get up earlier. They work harder. They persist longer. They control their thoughts. They take responsibility for their results. You can make excuses or you can make progress, but you can't make both. Successful people don't make excuses. They don't blame circumstances, economy, government, family, or luck. They take full responsibility. They say, if it's going to be, it's up to me. This book gives you a blueprint for success. It tells you exactly what to do. But reading it is not enough. You must apply these principles daily. You must make them part of your life. Only then will you see results. Start today, friends. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month. Today. Write down your definite purpose right now. Be specific. How much money do you want? By when? What will you give in return? What is your plan? Write it all down clearly. Read it aloud twice daily. Visualize it with emotion. Take action on your plan immediately, even if it's just a small step. Do this every single day without fail. Form your mastermind alliance. Find 2 or 3 people who can help you. Meet with them regularly. Share your goals and plans. Ask for their input and support. Develop the qualities of leadership. Be decisive. Be courageous. Be fair. Do more than you're paid for. Take responsibility. Cooperate with others. Control your emotions. Eliminate the 6 basic fears from your mind. Don't fear poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, or death. These fears are imagination used negatively. Use your imagination positively instead. Imagine success, health, love, and achievement. Learn to transmute your sexual energy into creative energy. Don't waste this powerful force. Channel it into your work. When you do, you'll find that your creativity, imagination, and persistence increase dramatically. Trust your 6th sense. When you get a strong feeling or intuition, pay attention to it. Your subconscious mind is trying to guide you. The more you trust it, the stronger it becomes. Above all, friends, have faith. Faith that your goals will materialize. Faith that the universe supports you. Faith that you deserve success. This faith must be so strong that doubt cannot enter your mind. Remember Henry Ford's words, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Your thoughts create your reality. Think success and you'll succeed. Think failure and you'll fail. It's that simple and that profound. Friends, this is not motivational talk. This is scientific principle. Your brain cells, your subconscious mind, your thoughts, all these are real physical things. When you think a thought repeatedly with emotion, it creates neural pathways in your brain. These pathways become automatic habits. Your habits create your actions. Your actions create your results. So if you want to change your results, change your thoughts. Feed your mind positive, success-oriented thoughts through autosuggestion. Do it consistently every day. In 6 months to a year, your entire life will transform. Don't compare your progress with others. Everyone's journey is different. Some achieve success quickly, others take longer. What matters is that you're moving forward. As long as you're taking action toward your goal every day, you're succeeding. Success is a journey, not a destination. Also, don't let anyone steal your dream. When you share your goals with people, many will doubt you. They'll tell you it's impossible. They'll list all the reasons you'll fail. Don't listen to them. These people are dream killers. They failed because they quit, and they want you to quit too. Share your goals only with your mastermind group, people who support you and want you to succeed. For everyone else, let your success speak for itself. Show them, don't tell them. Friends, I want to emphasize one more time, persistence is crucial. Hill says persistence is the direct result of habit. If you practice persistence in small things, it becomes automatic in big things. So start today. When you feel like quitting, keep going for just 5 more minutes. When you want to skip your daily auto-suggestion, do it anyway. When obstacles seem insurmountable, take one more small step. This daily practice of persistence creates the habit. After a while, persistence becomes part of your character. You don't even have to think about it. You automatically keep going until you succeed. Also, remember that the universe tests you before giving you success. Just when you're about to quit, that's when your breakthrough comes. Most people quit just before success. They endure 99% of the journey, then give up at the last 1%. Don't make this mistake. When you face your biggest obstacle, know that success is near. That obstacle is the universe's final test. Pass it, and success is yours. This is why persistence is so important. Without it, you'll quit just before winning. Hill found this pattern in every success story he studied. There was always a moment of crisis right before success. Carnegie faced it, Edison faced it, Ford faced it. How they responded to that crisis determined their destiny. Those who persisted became successful. Those who quit became statistics. Friends, you will face this moment too. When you do, remember this book. Remember these principles. Remember that success is just one more step away. Take that step and take the next one, and keep taking steps until you reach your goal. Now, let's talk about money specifically, because many people want to apply these principles to earn money. Friends, money is not the only measure of success, but it is important. Money gives you freedom, security, and the ability to help others. To apply these principles to money, first decide exactly how much you want. Not a lot of money or as much as possible, a specific amount. Write it down. Second, decide what service or value you'll provide in return for this money. The universe doesn't give something for nothing. What can you give that's worth the amount you want to receive? Third, set a definite date by when you want this money. Be realistic but optimistic. Don't give yourself too much time or you'll procrastinate. Fourth, create a definite plan for earning this money. How exactly will you provide the service you decided on? Who are your customers? How will you reach them? What resources do you need? Answer all these questions. Fifth, write a clear statement. I will have blank by blank. In return, I will provide blank. My plan is blank. Read this statement aloud twice daily, once after waking up and once before sleeping. While reading, visualize yourself already having that money. See it in your bank account. Feel how it feels to have financial freedom. Make it real in your imagination. Do this every single day without fail. Your subconscious mind will start finding ways to earn that money. Opportunities will appear. Ideas will come to you. The right people will enter your life. The money will materialize in ways you couldn't have predicted. This is not magic, friends. This is your subconscious mind working on the problem 24 hours a day. This is the law of attraction in action. This is infinite intelligence guiding you toward your goal. But remember, you must take action. Visualizing alone won't bring money. You must act on the opportunities that appear. You must implement the ideas that come to you. You must provide real value to receive real money. Many people apply these principles half-heartedly. They read their goals occasionally. They visualize when they feel like it. They give up at the first obstacle. Then they say, these principles don't work. But the principles work perfectly. These people just didn't apply them properly. Success requires 100% commitment, friends. Not 99%, but 100%. You must be willing to do whatever it takes legally and ethically to achieve your goal. You must be willing to persist no matter what. Only then will these principles work for you. Hill tells the story of a gold miner who found gold, then hit rock and couldn't continue. He sold his equipment and left. The person who bought his equipment brought in a mining engineer. The engineer studied the rock formation and said to dig 3 feet in a different direction. They did and found one of the richest gold veins in history. The first miner quit just 3 feet from gold. Friends, you don't know how close you are to your goal. Maybe you're 3 feet away. Maybe you're 3 months away. Maybe you're 3 attempts away. But if you quit now, you'll never know. Keep going. Keep persisting. Your breakthrough could be just around the corner. In conclusion, friends, this book teaches us that we are masters of our fate and captains of our souls. We are not victims of circumstances. We are creators of circumstances. Our thoughts shape our reality. Our persistence determines our success. Our faith moves mountains. You have the same mind power that Edison had, that Ford had, that Carnegie had, that Gandhi had. The only difference is they learned to use it and you haven't yet. But now you know the principles. Now you have the blueprint. Now you have no excuse. Your life from this day forward will be what you make it. If you apply these principles consistently, success is guaranteed. Not maybe, not probably, but guaranteed. This is a scientific principle as reliable as gravity. Plant positive thoughts and you'll harvest positive results. It's that simple. So make a decision right now. Decide that you will apply these principles. Decide that you will persist until you succeed. Decide that nothing will stop you from achieving your goals. Make that decision with burning desire and unwavering faith. Then take action immediately. Don't wait. Don't prepare more. Don't read more books. Start now with what you know. Write your definite purpose. Create your plan. Take the first step. The rest will become clear as you move forward. Remember, friends, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Don't regret that you didn't start earlier. Start now. Today is the first day of your new life, a life of purpose, planning, and persistent action toward your definite major goal. Success is not reserved for the lucky few. Success is available to everyone who follows these principles. You can be rich. You can be successful. You can achieve anything you desire. You just need to apply these 13 principles consistently and persistently. And when you achieve your success, friends, remember to help others. Form mastermind groups with them. Share these principles. Guide them on their journey. True success is not just about personal achievement. It's about lifting others as you rise. This is the complete science of success that Napoleon Hill discovered after 20 years of research. These principles have created more millionaires than any other philosophy. They've transformed more lives than any other system. They will transform your life, too, if you let them. The only question remaining is, will you take action? Will you start today? Will you persist until you succeed? The answer to these questions will determine your future. Choose wisely, friends. Choose to succeed. Choose to think and grow rich. Your destiny is in your hands. Make it magnificent. Thank you, friends. Now go and conquer your dreams. The world is waiting for the success you will create.